Congratulations, you're invited to a UX design job interview. It means that your portfolio and your skills made a great impression so far. Now you need to focus on presenting yourself in the best light possible and finding out if this company is a good fit. Today I will walk you through the framework I use to prepare for the interviews. At the start of my career, I made many mistakes when it comes to interviews. I learned from those experiences and improved over time by setting up the preparation process that works. Today I would like to share this framework with you so you don't have to learn it the hard way. This is the video I wish I had watched years ago. Before we dive into the framework, I want you to change the way you think about the interview process. It is a process that should benefit both parties, you and the company. Interviews are as much for them as they are for you. The idea is that you're both looking for a match, so you need to spend this time on presenting yourself, but also on getting to know the team and the company better. It is a unique opportunity to detect any green or red flags so that you can make an informed decision that you will not regret in the future. When preparing for the interviews, there are 3 areas you need to focus on. Research the company, prepare your answers, and meet the team. The first step is to research the company. There are a couple of resources that you need to go through to have a holistic understanding. The website is the first touchpoint that you want to take a good look at. Research what products they offer, what the features are, who is it created for, and how they communicate value. Also, try to find mission and vision statements for the company. Then, try to find resources about how the company works. You can start with the How We Work section on their careers page, where you can find basic information about the work environment and the team. Later on, you can look for a handbook or some kind of knowledge base for their employees. Many companies right now keep it open and public. In general, it is a great resource for finding out about processes, the team, collaboration, the structure, and their approach to the employees and their general philosophy. The next thing I recommend is reading the reviews online from their current and past employees. If there are any red flags there, you may want to ask questions connected to this topic during the interviews to find out what's the current state and if you're comfortable moving forward. The next point I can't emphasize enough. You absolutely have to try the product. It is a common mistake that I've seen so many designers and developers make when entering the interview process. You have to try the product to find out if you're actually interested in developing it long term, but also to show the level of professionalism and genuine interest in the company. If it comes out during the interview that you haven't used it, or even worse, that you lied about using it but you actually have no idea how the product works, it's a huge red flag. It usually will just end the whole interview process. In some cases, you may not be able to access the full version of the product, or you may not be able to access it at all because it's a 10th enterprise product or there are no single user's licenses. It's completely fine to do your research in alternative ways, such as watching YouTube videos, some tutorials, or reading a documentation. Just be honest about how you did your research during the interview process. The last point in the pre-interview research is to read social media posts from the company founders and other key people. It will give you a deeper understanding on what's top of mind and what's their philosophy in general. You can refer to those posts later on when asking about the company and the overall direction. The second step is to prepare your answers for the most common interview questions. The goal here is to think about them in advance so that when the day comes, you can feel relaxed, confident, and you can focus on the delivery. Here are some examples of questions that I would like to share with you. The first one is success and failure. So what was your biggest success so far and what was the biggest failure in your career so far? Another one is your favorite and least favorite project. So tell us about your favorite project and tell us about your worst project so far. Another question is why you're a good fit for this company. Here you need to correlate between your skills and abilities and the requirements for the job. Another one is tell us about your design process. It's a fairly easy question, but you still need to prepare for it. Another area of questions is about the collaboration. So how you collaborate with product managers, with other designers, also with other engineers. And the last one is question about your career growth. You need to be prepared to answer the question about what you would like to do within the next couple of years in this company. I recommend writing down the answers to these questions and practicing answering them out loud. You can also think about the follow-up questions that the interviewers may ask you and try to prepare for those as well. By the way, soon I will be launching a course about preparing for the product design and UX job interviews. You can find the link to join the waitlist in the description, or if you're watching this video later on, it will be a link to the course directly. The third area of focus is meeting the team. It takes place during the preparation and while interviewing. First of all, connect with your interviewers on LinkedIn. You can take a look at what they're interested in and what they're publishing. I also encourage you to send them a short message just to say hello and say that you're looking forward to the interview. It's a nice personal touch, and it already puts you in a situation where you're not a stranger to them. You're someone who's familiar and already said hello. The second extremely important element is to ask questions during the interview. They will usually leave 10 to 15 minutes for you to ask anything you want. Prepare questions for the team, for your manager, and for anyone you speak to. You need to find out how it is to be working for this company, what are the biggest challenges that they are facing, how they're measuring performance, and what are the expectations for the role that you're interviewing for, and many more things. By the way, if this video has been helpful so far, subscribe to my channel because I have many more videos about interviewing coming very soon. Anyways, let's come back to the questions. I would like to share with you some example questions you can ask during the interview process. The first one is, what are the 3 areas of expertise you're looking for me to fill as a new designer in your team? Basically, what you're looking for here are the expectations for the role from the team so that you can later on align yourself with those expectations. The second question you can ask is, if you hired me today, how would you know that I'm successful in 6 months? And this is a question to your manager. Basically, what you're looking for here is a confirmation that they are hiring intentionally and that they have clear expectations for this role. If the answer is vague, it's a red flag because it will be very hard to align yourself to non-existing expectations and eventually to succeed in this role. And the third question is, what's the design team structure and what's the design's role in the company? Here you want to find out if design is as important in the company as engineering and product. In general, in the most optimal environment, those 3 functions should be making decisions together. You want to join a company where design has so-called seat at the table because you will be able to influence the product direction. In addition to those information, you can also find out if designers are embedded in the product teams or they are working as an in-house agency. In majority of cases, you would like to be embedded in the teams. Another strategy that you can use to get to know your team better is to propose to work with them for a day. I recommend doing it after receiving an offer before signing the contract. During this day, you will be able to join couple meetings and maybe review a design for someone. It will give you a taste of what the atmosphere is in the company and how people collaborate and communicate. It is extremely valuable before making your final decision. And the last piece of advice is really straightforward, but many candidates forget about it. Send a thank you note after the interview. It leaves a good impression and makes the process more personal. In general, the design interview process is difficult, but it's not impossible to master. Preparation is key and it will set you apart from all other candidates. Remember about the paradigm shift that we talked about, that interviews are as much for them as they are for you. You need to find the company that aligns with your values and is able to support your career growth. Hopefully, this video was extremely useful and you're ready to implement the framework in the upcoming interview. I'll see you in the next video very soon.